Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. The devs have recently gone through and revealed a bunch of upcoming updates and fixes for Black Ops 6 and Warzone, detailing some minor issues that are going on, some more major ones as well. We've also got some slight reveals for some upcoming larger updates happening this week as well. So lots to break down here today. First up, I wanted to start on the Trello board. We're here on the global Trello board, so this encompasses some global stuff that applies to multiplayer, zombies, Warzone, then also some of the multiplayer and zombie specific stuff. Then we'll head on over to the Warzone Trello and also take a look at some of the content reveals for the next few days. Of course, as we do dive into everything to look out for here today, all the stuff that's been announced and revealed as of late. If you enjoy the video, you find the information helpful, a like rating is always seriously appreciated. It really does help share the video around to new viewers. And if you happen to be one of those new viewers, or maybe you just have not subscribed yet, we should change that. This is the place to be to stay up to date with everything going on in Call of Duty, whether it's news, updates, patch notes, meta breakdowns. I got you covered on a daily basis, so feel free to hit that subscribe button and turn on those post notifications. But first up here, we did just cover the global tab a few days back, as they have updated this with a few issues that they are currently investigating. This means that these could absolutely be, updated in the next few days. It could be with random hotfix updates that require just like a simple tweet from the COD updates account. This could be included in a surprise download that actually has some patch notes. Obviously, if anything happens this week in particular, we do have some days to look out for that we'll cover here in just a moment. Obviously, we'll be covering them in a future video, but they are investigating the voice chat issue where all the player names get stuck on your screen. It's not like it's a game-breaking bug, but it's very annoying for sure. They're also looking at some issues where console and PC control text can show on your screen at the same time in the operator menu. That one's not nearly as big of a deal. The multiplayer tab has actually seen quite a few things updated here as of late. So they do say certain information may currently appear missing in the CODcaster mode. That's under investigation. This is a big one. I've seen a lot of complaints and concerns about this. Perk 1 selection may not behave as expected when equipping the Perk Greed wildcard. Basically, Perk Greed could be breaking your class setups right now, which is a big deal because Perk Greed is probably the best thing to be running in multiplayer for a wildcard, since you can, tether so many different bonuses together with that. So definitely a large issue going on there. Hopefully that one is fixed here relatively quickly. They also say after calling in a dreadnought, the player may be stuck in a state where they can no longer crouch, slide, or change stance. So dreadnoughts could also completely break your game right now, which is pretty important as well. The winner's circle may not appear after a match on Stakeout, really specific one, but an issue that they're looking into nonetheless. Loadout menus may sometimes display placeholder icons if you switch from a different mode into multiplayer. So you'll jump into the menus really quick in multiplayer. It might show something from Warzone or zombies at random. The same issue happens over in Warzone. If you switch over to that from multiplayer, it's like a really odd thing going on there. It's just placeholder things. You'll have to like restart your game to fix it. It's annoying again, for sure. Ranks play combat records do not display seasonal data correctly, a thing that's been going on across the board. They're looking into that. And they actually have a fix scheduled, so it's quite possible we see this maybe fixed later this week, or it could be reserved for season 4 here coming up towards the end of the month. But some players may display an incorrect platform icon in the game lobby, so it might show you as PlayStation even if you're on Xbox, or it might show you on PC if you're on Xbox Game Pass or something weird like that. They are looking into that. They have a full fix confirmed for that already. We also have some zombies fixes that are already confirmed, which is pretty cool. So manglers will sometimes walk into walls when spawning into the map. Fix scheduled and ready to go out there at a later date and time. A fix already scheduled for the Juggernog reactive armor augment, not working as intended, a big one there. So nice to see that that one's going to be fixed. And then also the Ether Shroud extra charge augment and PhD slider and Tribologist augments for PhD flopper are not functioning properly after a saved game load happens. So again, really specific issue there, but pretty important if you're trying to take advantage of those augments. Obviously, they are still looking into an issue when interacting with the vault in the bowling alley Easter egg in Liberty Falls, and then some players may not see the on-screen timer during exfil, so you're just left up to question there and maybe count naturally in your head, right? So definitely a lot of updates here. This is probably the most full that we've seen the global Trello board in quite some time, quite frankly. I don't remember the last time we had this many fixes scheduled and other things under investigation, just across the board. So good news here that they are actively communicating some things that we should see updated here pretty soon. Now, the Warzone Trello board has not seen as many updates as of late. We've seen quite a few things shifted over into the Resolve tab, of course. So we obviously saw some patch notes go out late last week, and they addressed some issues here with server disconnects going on within ranked play. They did say they resolved that. Issues with the armor plates not working correctly, so that stuff's fully been resolved here. You'll notice though that in the investigation tab still for Battle Royale, Plunder, Resurgence, etc., they do still acknowledge that there are some weird disconnect issues happening. So while they have fixed it in bulk, for the majority, there's still instances where matches can have a server crash and it boots everybody out of the match, gives you the lost connection to host or whatever, right? So unfortunate that it's not fully fixed, but nice that they are still looking into that. And then still some of the same issues that we've talked about here lately with prone speeds, crouch speeds being a little bit off ever since the Season 3 Reloaded update. The revive bug that's been here since the first day of the game still being investigated here with 2 different instances for some reason. Also one where it can take double the time to revive, which is pretty annoying there as well. Operator voiceover being spammed, and they do still have a fix scheduled for the issue where sometimes custom loadouts and other player data resets after a match. So you load into a game and it gives you a default XM4 and a pistol. This has been an insanely annoying bug that happens to multiplayer. It happens to Warzone. Not sure if it happens in zombies, but still, you build out your setups, you load into a game, it doesn't give you the right one because it reset for some reason. Really obnoxious one there. This one's had a fix scheduled for some time, so at this point, I assume that likely means it won't be fully updated until Season 4. Now, like I said, we do actually have a scheduled update day happening this week, which is pretty cool. So some of these issues that we just talked about, very possible we could see them fixed alongside the larger update this week. But of course, as we've known since the start of the season, we do have a new playlist update, an actual scheduled update day for May 15th. As we can see on the current Warzone playlist breakdown, the current selection of playlists with high trip, the LTM there and everything going on ends on the 15th. They have not fully detailed what we'll be shifting into next as far as playlists go, but we do know for the second half of this half of the season, I guess, the last 2 weeks essentially, we should be seeing a new LTM swap in and replace high trip Resurgence. So back from our Season 3 Reloaded Intel drop log, they do detail the LTMs coming in Season 3 Reloaded. Obviously, the first half we had high trip Resurgence, and then we've still just been basically waiting on massive Resurgence. So we can assume on the 15th when we see our new playlist update, we're going to end up having the massive Resurgence LTM swap in there. They say up the competition with the support for 120 operators on Verdansk Resurgence. So this will be classic Verdansk Resurgence, but with 120 players. It'll likely chop down various different sections of the map where it just takes place over on the right side around farmland and quarry and stuff, or maybe it's on the left side by hills and boneyard and everything down there, promenade, etc., etc. Honestly, from back in the day playing Resurgence on Verdansk, massive Resurgence no less, it was a ton of fun. Very excited to jump back into this. Stay alive to redeploy fallen squad mates and be ready to engage enemies with greater frequency in this last squad standing battle. So pretty self-explanatory as far as the rule set goes. It won't be nearly as crazy as high trip Resurgence with all the power-ups, the little like low gravity jump and everything, but still a nice LTM to have on Verdansk for sure. Alongside that, on 15th, we're also going to see a brand new event and content update take place with the Call of Duty Endowment Got Your 6 event update. They actually posted like a little teaser video for this a few days back on the Endowment YouTube channel, just showing off some of the content. There is going to be like a new endowment code bundle, basically. So all the proceeds from that bundle that dropped this week will go directly to the endowment, which is always the only time I'm ever like, hey, if you're gonna buy a bundle, buy that bundle, right? But they are gonna have a full-on event that's going to encompass multiplayer, zombies, and Warzone. They haven't detailed all the challenges specifically yet, but we know there's going to be some content rewards and animated blueprints, I believe. Then obviously this tracer pack as well. And Got Your 6 will be starting on May 15th, so right alongside our update day, our scheduled update day this week, and lasting until May 29th, which by all active measures right now is going to be the end date for Season 3 and the start date for Season 4. So this will actually last the entire next 2 weeks to round out Season 3 Reloaded here in Season 3 as a whole. So beyond that, kind of a mysterious end to the season. Like, we know this event's going on and we know we should see massive Resurgence take place, but we don't really know anything else for the last 2 weeks, which is odd considering that's a pretty large time gap, in Call of Duty time, at least, for very little to be known or very little to be happening based on our information so far. But plenty of opportunity for some pretty important updates to go out this week, some new content inbound. Obviously, as they announce or reveal anything else, I'll be covering it all right as it happens, so stay tuned for that alongside everything else going on in the world of COD on a daily basis by hitting that subscribe button and turning on those post notifications. And if you enjoyed this video, a like rating on your way out would be seriously appreciated. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you later. Peace out.